It's a great pleasure to welcome to the program Julia Roberts. Julia, thank you for taking this time out. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
First of all, as I've had the pleasure, and there's certainly every bit of truth in it, of telling everybody connected with this film, congratulations on Steel Magnolias.
Thanks.
It is a marvelous, marvelous film. What interested you most about playing the part of Shelby?
Shelby is so, well, first of all, she's so different from any character I played before and had kind of such a fresh view of everything. Shelby looked at everything with kind of a little different tilt to it than I do, which was refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Because she had an ability to extract the good in most every situation, and not to the point to being kind of a Pollyanna about it all, because I think she understood the reality of almost everything.
Right.
But at the same time, extract enough of the good to see it as something positive all the time.
It's an extremely complex role in that when we first see the character of Shelby, she seems to be a character who has not a care in the world, your typical, if we can use that word, Southern Belle type, you know. But we slowly learn through your performance, through the dialogue, just what's going on with her. Was it a difficult role in that sense?
Well, the thing about Shelby, which is the greatest thing that she shared with Susan Harling, who the story is, who the character is based on, which is that very few people who knew Susan, who was a nurse, and knew that she was sick, ever. And even when she was really sick, they didn't know, because it wasn't something that was going to make a difference. If she told somebody and they knew, it didn't matter. And the only thing that it could do to tell somebody that she was sick would be to make them feel sorry for her, or make them watch after her closer, or what have you. You know, whatever anybody's going to do if you tell them that you're sick. And that's the greatest thing that two of them shared, is their spirit for just being normal, and a real need to maintain that normalcy and still live with the reality of the facts of the matter with her family.
Mm-hmm.
And that was enough people to know.
How closely does the play and the film follow the actual events?
I think close. I think dynamics of relationships and spirits of people are intact.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel you had to do any? The play and the film are so wonderfully constructed. Mr. Harlan did such a tremendous job there. Did you feel you had to do any research outside of the printed word to get to the bottom of Shelby?
Not so much. I don't think so. I mean, I think in the sense of this relationship, Bobby did such an extraordinary job capturing something that he obviously observed better than maybe he realized he observed, which was his mother and his sister.
Yeah.
I think that it was such a kind of accurate grasp on all the different points of a mother-daughter relationship, with this illness just being a bigger, stronger, more pressing driving point for the entire relationship. But I think he had a really good handle on it.
Mm-hmm.
And me being a daughter and obviously having a mother, I completely thought it was very accurate.
Yeah. From a purely technical point of view, in this film you're surrounded by, I guess, what we would call some legends in the theater and film world. Yet this whole movie really revolves around your character. It would not be were it not for your character. Was that at all, I don't want to say intimidating, but I think you know what I mean. That
no. I mean, it was
it's a heavy responsibility, I guess. Is
yeah,
what I'm saying.
well, but it wasn't I mean, my responsibility was to portray Shelby the best way I could, and to make her strong and real. And even though the the piece takes place because of her situation, because of Susan's situation. Nothing happens without everybody else, and that's all I do besides everybody else, is that it stems from me, but it doesn't grow from me, and it's not because of me. It grows and it's because of all of us. And so it wasn't like I was walking around with the burden of steel magnolias on my shoulders. That was hardly the case. So
You're one of the few people in the cast, aside from Dolly and Shirley MacLaine, I guess, who was born in Virginia, who could actually address this. How faithful is the setting to the actual South?
I think it's fitting and true enough. I mean, there's a couple of kind of exaggerated Southern extras, you know, background kind of enhancers, you know. But I think definitely all of the main characters, the men and the women, are all very true people.
And there's nothing which made me feel good too, being a Southerner. There's nothing stereotypical about it. There may be some exaggerations in one or two places, but nothing stereotypical. Nothing.
But yeah, but I think the exaggerations are just color. They just make it colorful. And I think the thing is that everybody played. Nobody played like, you know, what every Yankee thinks is a Southerner. Nobody played that, you know, because I think we've seen enough of that. Yeah.
Thank goodness. I can't remember how many times I've, you know, had to look away from the screen when we would hear certain accents in other films.
It's horrifying, isn't it?
This time they got it right.
Well, the South is going to rise again, I guarantee it.
Julia, this has been a pleasure talking with you, and I don't need to wish you success on this film because I know you're going to have it.
I hope
But thank
so.
you for taking this time out.
Sure.